transition to the next slide. So I have spoken about all this analytics, real-time system, and all those things. So what is exactly the customer looking at? I mean, as I told you, right? I mean, there is 80% of unstructured data. So they want what to call systems that can enable them to discover what is there in this 80% of data, and they want to include all forms of data, be it let's say image, or be it audio, be it text or emails or call logs or whatnot. I mean, all forms of data they want it, and they want to do discovery on this data and do a correlation analysis between what has happened between multiple columns in this one. For example, right? I mean, one of the clients found that their video sales is very high when the weather is very what to call bad. That is, when the weather is snowing, their video CDs and movies renting is very high. So this kind of modeling can never happen in an relational kind of a thing, whereas you find that correlation with these kind of technologies. Like we do that correlation analysis within multiple variables and from various data sources. Okay, so that is one thing that people want to do it, and they want to do it by self-service. I mean, they want to do it by self-discovery. Though we say that they want to do it, right? Today's technology is not what, I mean, in my view, they are not auto-discovery. I mean, there is some help that is required from the programmers. They need to clean the data. They need to normalize the data. They need to do the data integration. Remember, data integration is one of the biggest challenge that we will have in bringing the data together. Okay, and that is what we are seeing in this one, that maximize the correlation. And people want, while they want to do all these things, the technology is very complex today, and they want to abstract the technology and reduce the time to insights. And they also want to operationalize the decision. I mean, there is nothing like, okay, I found it, so what? I mean, they want to put this findings into the field, and they want to realize the money. I mean, they are spending a lot of money in doing this, but they want to realize the money that they are spending in this kind of initiatives. So big data, in my view, is going to help in in doing all these things. Okay, so as I spoke about all these technologies, right? I have a couple of minutes to talk about. I think I have 9 more minutes to talk about what are the challenges, what are we doing in Infosys, and all those things. Before I get into what we are doing in Infosys and all those things, right? The challenges that I see here, right? I mean, you can't get everything in the world. I mean, what I mean by that is there is always engineering trade-offs that we need to do. And if, for example, in real-time systems, when we go for NoSQL kind of technologies, majority of them today do not do ACID. Okay, when I mean by ACID is atomicity, concurrency, integrity, and durability of the data, and many of them cannot get near here. But many of them also provide a single a single record atomicity, single record consistency, single record this one. But you want to operate on a bunch of records. The moment you do that, you cannot assure consistency. And many of them, right? I mean, though we say it is durable, there are occasions in which the data is not durable. And I mean, if people are interested, right, there is a theorem called CAP theorem, and it was developed in 2002 or around thereabouts of that. What it says is there are 3 variables. One is consistency, other is availability, and other is partition tolerance. So in a distributed system, you have to assume that the network will fail, and you need your products or your systems to be partition tolerant. Okay, when I mean partition, the systems get partitioned, the networks get partitioned. So definitely any product that we are going for should have partition tolerance. Whereas people are playing with the consistency and the availability part of it. So many of the vendors, for example, MongoDB is a strongly consistent database, whereas Cassandra is a highly available database. So it again goes back to your fundamentals of distributed systems and principles of distributed systems, whether it is a master and slave or peer-to-peer. So anybody that is requiring a consistency would go in what we call strong a master-slave kind of a pattern, whereas people who are okay to tolerate the what to call consistency, where you are only dealing with a time-bound data, and maybe after 5 minutes or 2 minutes the data information becomes stale. They are okay to go with uh, the availability part of this one. So Cassandra is one such thing. Okay, the real challenge in many of these things, right? Well, 95% of the use case can be accommodated with these databases, right? There are 5% border cases where you need to do unit of work and transactions. So there are a lot of mindshare happening, but it remains an industry, I mean, yet to be solved. But there are databases like MarkLogic and Aerospike who are who are calling as ACID compliant, but there are still border cases where you cannot do a distributed transaction and all those things. So this is a challenge that we need to work, and as programmers, as architects, I mean, we are finding ways to do this distributed transaction, trying to imitate three-phase commit and all those things. And Infosys, we have developed frameworks to do all these things. Okay, so that is one part of the real-time databases. Again, the technology keeps changing, and there's a lot of things that needs to be learned in those world. I mean, it is not, I would say 50 to 60% of it is RDBMS, and rest of the concepts are new. So we need to do some unlearning there. Okay, so coming into the analytical systems, right? As I told you, Hive today, the entire thing is Hadoop as it is today is MapReduce workload only. But I mean, there is already Yarn, which is can accommodate any kind of workload, and I believe that in my personal opinion, right? I mean, that is the future thing. I mean, anybody who is willing to get into Hadoop world should know what Yarn is, okay, and what benefits it brings into, and should experiment that. And people are trying to solve this SQL on top of Hadoop using various products like Drill is from Mapr, Stringer from Hortonworks, and there are a lot of open source initiatives also there. So people are trying to solve. But still there are a lot of unsolved problems, like when we move into this augmented data warehousing solutions, right? Like when we are trying to move the workloads from this one. There is still not a notion of transaction yet. I mean, unless you go with HBase, there is everything is a file. Everything is a file, and everything is a partition in Hive. So you just can't do an update of a particular record. For example, I might have bought a song today from a site, let's say Apple site, and tomorrow I might have given it back, or I might not like it, and I would say there will be a grace period. I might give it back, or I might do an I might ask for a refund, like maybe an X card, a gift card kind of a scenario. So what happens is I have to go and update certain records. In those cases, these kind of workloads cannot be, I mean, we cannot do that. But I mean, but we have done some workaround within Infosys. We have done some frameworks that can do updates and deletes and do compaction with the data as we as we grow with the data. As you have multiple versions of the record, right? I mean, you need to do compaction. So we are doing all these things. And what happens is sometimes Hadoop is too technical, too low level for business users. They want an abstraction on top of these hard technologies. So these are few challenges that we have seen, and to overcome some challenges, this is what we are doing in Infosys. I mean, we have got a product called Big Data Edge, where we are trying to do this, address the pain points that I spoke about. Like we are trying to do a discovery framework and aggregation framework that can do what to call a self-discovering platform and a what to call usable platform, where you bring in data source data from various sources and create insights that normally would take months and months to take, but we have an automated drag and drop kind of solution which will help you to do a rapid visualization also. Okay, so this is one platform. People who are interested can go and look at Big Data Edge in YouTube, and it's a very successful product for us. And this is, I mean, some of the things that we have got there is we support both real-time as well as batch things. We have integrated with various leading open source products and search engines. and we have got our own data masking, data cleansing algorithms. We have got a lot of, we are fine-tuning some of the machine learning algorithms for pattern matching and all those time series analysis. And everything is enabled through a visualization that is coming default from the product. So that is what we are doing there, and we have got around 50 sources where we can pull data and 250 algorithms that are packaged nicely, and we have got 50 different ways to visualize data. Okay, so this is what we are doing, and my final slide is 1 minute. Next slide is, whatever I have spoken is about my experience at leading a group of 400 people, and we have done almost 20 plus engagements. The big guys of the industries, I would say the marquee clients, the biggest companies in the world, we have done work, and I would say we have gone up to 600 nodes and handling around 1 petabyte of data for our customers, multiple customers, and we offer multiple services, all those things, and we have the largest Hadoop certified SI in India right now, and we work with Oracle also, by the way. So this is what I had got, and I'm left, I think I have almost on time for 45 minutes. And by the way, we are also hiring. We are looking at good people who are willing to learn, or who have got solid experience in Hadoop and distributed systems. So that is what I had to say. I'm open for questions right now. I think it is almost 45 minutes now. Yeah. Thanks, Anuradha. I'm open for questions.
Yes, Ganeshan, thanks for the insightful presentation. Let's quickly take up the questions now. Please read out the queries and their answers so that all our users may listen to the insights. And you can find the questions in the question box. Are you able to access it?
Yep.
Yes. I request you to take them one by one. Just read aloud the questions and their answers.
Okay. Can it be used? I think Paresh Goswami